Hello, crazy ones. Today we're looking at my first read of Phil Knight's biography, Shoe Dog. I've read and listened to many biographies this year, but this was the best one. And it was an autobiography. And my perspective on autobiographies versus a biography, especially when it comes to these successful people that we were reading their stories of, autobiographies are much better, much more fun, and you get the real story in a way in that, when somebody writes their own story, they will be biased. But there are elements to that story that is important for anyone trying to emulate that person that is not mentioned in a regular biography. Because frankly, these writers that look at the people's life don't look at it from the perspective of somebody who likes to become as successful as them, and it does not do a good job copying that element. So this was an autobiography, and it was the best one that I've had this year in 2025, and three takeaways from it are these. So, quick background. Phil goes to university in Oregon State. Then he does his master's at Stanford. Then after Stanford, he comes up with a business plan for shoe business by basically using Japanese workforce to create shoes and to sell those shoes in United States. This is in 1960s, and there is no entrepreneurship culture in the United States, and it's frankly, he'll be looked at as a weirdo. So he goes to his dad and he asks for money to basically fund a trip for him to Japan, and then he can look at what's going on there as well. So he goes there, starts the company, and then on his second trip, he's going there, he's by himself. He has found a manufacturer for himself in Japan, and he decides to go to Mount Fuji just for some, fun. So he goes there, and he meets a couple, a guy and a gal, and they walk together up Mount Fuji. And on the way, at the end of the hike, Phil realizes that this guy is not the girl's boyfriend. And the girl goes, "Well, where are you staying right now?" And Phil goes, "This hotel," and they go spend the time together. And that's Phil's first girlfriend that he brings home. And this girl is from a very wealthy background on the East Coast. And then this girl breaks up with Phil, telling him he's not sophisticated enough. And he is heartbroken. But at the same time, when that happens, Phil has a business, is making a good amount of revenue, and this is in the 1960s. And it goes to show that you can be successful in one area of life and totally crap in another area of life, but it's fine, and in the end it can turn out fine if you just keep at it. The second thing I wanted to talk about is when Phil asked his dad first time for money. Phil's dad's attitude was that initially he was like, "I just want a son that fits the mold and does a thing that makes me proud and makes me look good." And frankly, he dismissed Phil many times when he came up with any idea or anything that he wanted. And he totally believed that Phil would fail in his business. Did not believe in him at all. But as years passed by and Phil started to make more money, Phil's business went into a very, very big and hard court case that he absolutely needed to win. And in that time, Phil got phone calls from his dad every day telling him, "Hey man, it's gonna be fine. I read this court case. This is scenario A and B. This can go into your favor." And Phil absolutely needed that positive attitude at the moment. And it goes to show that as you go on to succeed more and more people are going to believe in you, and more importantly, people that you care about will believe in you. People always say that it might be black and white situation, that initially your parents will either believe in you or not believe in you, and it will stay like that. But the fact is, people are making decisions on you based on your behavior or results in the past. And sometimes they decide fairly and sometimes they decide unfairly. but it doesn't mean that that belief cannot change. That's a cool part. Third thing I wanted to say is Phil had something very cool that, like, even when I read Walmart's story or any of the recent Silicon Valley story or anything else I've never seen, and that is people that believed in the mission so hard that they were willing to not take their paycheck. One day Phil comes to the office. This is when Nike has maybe like 4 or 5 employees, and he sees 2 of his employees have their paycheck on a piece of cup, and they haven't taken their paycheck. And he looks at it and goes, "Oh my gosh, these people are not taking paychecks." And what they were doing is saying that, hey, we believe in the mission of increasing running, because they were running people and believed in it, that we know that the company is not making that much money, but we are willing to sacrifice a little bit of ourselves. And there are many more examples of that in Nike that is absolutely amazing. And man, if you can build a company like that, that's awesome. So that is another cool thing that I saw from the biography. Overall, the biography is written very, very well. It almost reads like a novel, a very good novel, and I think that goes to Phil's writing skills as well. So if you got value out of this video or found it interesting, give a like and subscribe. See you in the next one.